Alright, welcome back to the channel, the home of Grenade Veteran. I got some gameplay here, it's just to supplement the build video I just released, Grenade Veteran Unleashed. This is the bolt pistol and power sword version. I'm just here to talk a little bit about my thoughts and things that happened during the gameplay. Hope you guys enjoy. So right here we're getting a horde. I see a ton of elites. I also want to mention, because this stuff is not too important, I throw some grenades, everything dies. I apologize if the health bars are jarring. I do testing, I want to make sure it's as objective as possible. In future I got one more gameplay coming where the health bars are on, but when I go for the final gameplay that I'll present, I'll make sure to turn the health bar mods off, debuff tracker, just to make it as relatable as possible for anyone, like for all my PS5 and Xbox players. I understand you can't get mods, I want it to be relatable, I want to show you don't need, you know, spidey sense and all that to make the game work for ya. Just have some confidence in yourself, push yourself, play as best as you can, learn to love the struggles of the journey, it's just a part of the process. So another thing with this game is me and Cheese to meet you, we're Darktide buds, we play a bunch. We're waiting in queue, I don't know, for about 10 to 15 minutes. It just got to a point where it's like, okay, nobody's joining, it happens. So, Ultra and Femboy were just the next two people who put their invitation in. We accepted them. I truthfully wasn't sure if we would be able to carry the discrepancy, but one, it is Archive and Sycorax. This is one of, if not the easiest map, especially once you learn it. This was a very quick game. I think it was 26 minutes before I edited it. And the last thing is, I want to know if I could actually push myself as much as I think this build is powerful. And you know, I think that kind of is like a testament to the build that it can hold up. You can carry teammates. There is a scoreboard at the end in case you need that, want that. Very important to play around your team, but I also need to understand that these aren't Havoc 40 players. So if they go down and I know that's a bad down, I'm not going to go for the res. It's just as simple as that. It is better from my personal perspective and experience, playing with Cheese, knowing my limits, our limits, just play for the next res for the most part. If it's a fine res, obviously go for them, I'm just going to ditch teammates, but you have to understand that if you think you're a better player or your build is having more impact, try to leverage that to help your teammates. So for example, in that area, you saw I was towards the back a lot. I was leveraging that skill to rear guard for my team, use the brute force potential of power sword to keep enemies off of them, and that's just a cascading effect of that will be high health more often. As you can see, Femboy lags behind here. I don't know Femboy or Ultra, I only know Cheese. I'm trying to be efficient with all the resources here. Ammo and stims are getting off fast, so may as well use it. Ultra gets knocked off, I don't know how I didn't see it. And then now here, as opposed to going for the res, set up the heal station with the grenades to CC for your team, and so you don't just get shot by shotgunners and lose HP. Something that I'll try to show and remember if I see it, I think it's later on in the video, is that you can use your blocks if you time it as a perfect time block. You can open up bulwark shields very consistently. I'm running Sunder on the power sword in this game. I do think it's one of the better choices in high Havoc. If you're someone that just likes to turn your brain off, because you can ultimately just keep fucking spamming your left clicks and you're gonna cleave carapace. It does, you do notice the breakpoints, especially on things like rages without slaughterer. But again, when the armored rages, the crushers, the maulers, even bulwarks with their random bits of carapace armor on their shoulder, you can just cleave straight through it and still get a lot of AoE damage up, and that's the main thing. Getting that sword through all the armor, because the power sword still has a good amount of impact, so you can use that impact defensively in between your attack swings to set up another swing so you're not taking damage. Now here you see me pull all these elites from the other area. Rather than finishing the board here, then walking up and fighting over there, this is one of the best spots in this entire section to fight. I mean, we've all watched Star Wars probably, we've got the high ground. So what I do, if you've ever played WoW or Borderlands, for me Borderlands specifically, raids, you're pulling that spawn to you, and if there are more spawns within distance that trigger from the noise or the damage, whatever that trigger distance is, you can pull sections of the next area to where you want to fight. So I do it again here. I walk into that room, fire a couple of shots, I trigger all the elites and hard spawns in that room, it then triggers with a horde. That's how I'm setting up my grenades. Now look to my left, that's a spawn door right there. We're camping the spawn door. It's a nice like round area. I can maximize my 28 meter grenades. That's what's really happening here. I'm timing my grenades, I'm looking at my grades. I saw that this is a twin blast, so I went to throw a second grenade, then I swapped to my power sword. I'm playing around that 2 grenade combo. I'm trying to conserve this grenade with the next one. We'll see how the situation goes. But when I say you want to play around your grenade, AI director aggression, timings, map knowledge, this is a perfect place for that, and that's why this map is actually pretty good for showcasing things quick. I'm setting up the area, we can fall back behind cover. See that little barricade there? We can disrupt the targeting of the dogs because they have to run around. It buys time for things like poxbursters to walk around. The gunners, we get cover from it. Setting up areas like this is very important. We can hear the poxbursters coming from the spawn door near us. That will give us time to prepare for it. Use the map layout to your advantage. This is a progression based spawn. Every time you get to this area, you'll get a spawn. I did push up this staircase. That's where I believe the progression based horde is. So we trigger it, we don't go for the res. We pull back first. You can see how quickly the horde comes. This is a shit situation to be in. Ideally want to pull back a little bit more out of this corridor into the next room. I get a good time dodge. That's how I don't get hit by the crusher there. If you go back, you'll see my dodges go from 0 to -1. So that's why it's important to use your dodges timed well. I notice that inefficient dodges go back to blocking. This is always a difficult part because you need to time your blocks and attacks well to not lose the energized attack. So what I want to say with the moveset is, and I'll quickly discuss it now, we pretty much want to light spam for the most part. You can really turn your brain off into anything that's like flak or below. When it comes to the big units, you want to use your push poke attack, so you'll get your block out, push immediately, hold the left click to activate the push attack. It'll follow with a light overhead, and then you can follow with another light horizontal or a diagonal heavy. That will reach plenty of breakpoints. Now if you have a lot of horde around you and you need a bit more stagger, you block, you push, you wait about 0.25 seconds, just a little bit of a delay, then you left click, and then you can activate the left horizontal swing and chain from there back into a right swing into a left overhead chop. When you use the power sword and you charge it, it'll be right horizontal, left horizontal, diagonal from the right hand side, and then if you don't block, you'll reset into the second chain. That's the combo that you're chaining into by allowing that 0.25 second delay between your push attack. The heavies are actually pretty good on the power sword. It's just, it requires more thought, more actions per minute. I just can't be bothered. But I do actually recommend chaining heavies with a power sword. especially with Sunder, because you can follow up light attacks very quickly. Even without attack speed, it is deceptive how quickly you can chain a light attack after a heavy attack with the power sword. So definitely, if you want to min-max it, you definitely need to get some heavies in there. Where you would put them, I'm not 100% yet, I'm still testing, but there is definitely merit to it. Now here, again, this is a timer based horde now, because you shouldn't be getting a horde as you're going to walk into a spawn door. So I know that this is a progression based horde, sorry, a timer based horde, because we already got the progression based horde before. So rather than going into the next area and having to deal with new spawn doors, this is a very safe, efficient way to deal with the horde. Put it back on timer so we can get space in the next hub. This looks like I'm just stat padding my scoreboard, but I'm not. Once I'm happy, we move to the next area. It's about culling the horde before you get to the next area, prepping the next area. Now, Ultra wanted to fight on the bridge here. I don't know if you watched the videos, but for anyone watching now, don't fight a plague ogre on the bridge. Like I was mentioning in previous videos, the main thing of the Beast of Nurgle is taking space with the slime and its tankiness. The main thing of the plague ogre is being disruptive. If I didn't put myself in the way of that plague ogre with that block to tank that charge, I can guarantee Femboy was about to get launched off the edge because he had his gun out. When the Plague Ogre does that charge attack, get your blocker out, eat it, otherwise you're going to get sent flying. And if you're fighting on the bridge there, doing that, you're just asking to die. And this fucking sniper, I've played a shit ton of Darktide. I've never fucking seen a sniper all the way over there. That actually cock blocks us pretty well. We have to fall back trying to deal with it. The Psyker deals with it with burst. Now we can push forward. I didn't even know where the fuck it was when I looked back. I've never seen a sniper there before. I agree. Old dumb. Fucking that is a fucked up sniper. Keep leveraging the brute force potential of the power sword. You want to be up front. Try to support your teammates. Again, you do have a focused target build, so while you're up front doing all this damage, a lot of this is not actually being concentrated on your reticule 100%. When you play focused target and grenade veteran, especially together, you really need to learn to keep like 20% of your brain on your peripherals. You need to be looking for those important targets so you can ping them with focused target. You need to be looking for when the enemy density ramps up so you can get those good grenades out. Here we're using Sunder with push attacks to cleave multiple bulwarks with that really high single target combo. I have no grenades. Now I get a grenade and I use a red stem myself. I think that is still extremely good. I was of the opinion previously, no, I say red stem, that's fine, I actually prefer that. I was of the opinion before that red stem should always go to Psykers. That opinion has obviously now changed. It should go to Grenade Veteran in my opinion, assuming assuming a condition has been met. They have 2 to 4 grenades, or they know that that one grenade will have enough impact with the red stem, depending on the build. Because you also got to remember, I'm using redirect fire, I believe. I'm pretty sure I'm using redirect fire and competitive urge with this build. I just want to confirm. Can I kill something? I have competitive urge, but I don't see redirect fire proccing, so I'm not actually sure. This might have been a game where I teched into additional replenishment. So I went confirmed kill, close order drills, 1 motion, and out for blood because I'm not noticing my redirect fire proccing. That's probably why I noticed I was doing less damage to rages this game actually. That's good to know in hindsight. I'll have to do more testing in future with this knowledge now, because I was under the impression I'd redirect fire here, but no, I must have went with my confirm kill out for blood route or something else, because as you can see here, the normal Drake Rages, which have Maniac armor, the time to kill isn't as nice as I want, but again, bolt pistol and grenades do really well against them, so like the build already deals with that. It's just when I'm low on those resources that I do notice it's not as fast as I would like, so that's something for me to consider. I'll have to have a look at that. Here I see a shit ton of shooters set up, entering this room with the grenades. You see the stagger, you see the damage. By the time I even turn to see the bottom ones, they're already dead from the bleed. We do the same thing here, double grenade, Bing chilling. I'm pretty chill with this ammo. I pick up like small ammo ones because I do notice that like it's getting walked past. I try to ping the big ones as much as I want, but I mean, if everyone's walking past it, I'm gonna pick it up. As you saw at the start of the video too, this is a very fast-paced map, and it's okay to sacrifice ammo for pace on this map. I definitely think so. This area is extremely easy. This finale section takes us like 3 minutes. As you can see, rages, grenades, they don't like that combo. They're very susceptible to stagger. The power sword with power cycler, the extra impact, Sunder having extra cleave, you can actually stagger rages with good timed light attacks. It's not always consistent, so I wouldn't worry about it, but that is just to know. Now here Ultra gets hit by a mutant. We have a choice to go back, but this is blight spreads. Backtracking on blight spreads is not a good idea. It's better to maintain pace, keep pushing forward, keep in front of you free of corruption. Now this looks like a troll health pack, but again, they're falling behind. I know that they're probably going to eat some corruption. The last section, when we press the buttons, quite easy. I would rather we 100% go here, like proceed through this area, no hiccups. We can hear the pox burster coming, so we're just taking our time, making sure someone's dealing with it. Everything's chill, now we start moving. That medicrate is something that's, use it before something bad happens, because we're out of coherency. It's not looking good. There is a lot of margin for error there, so I'm placing that med crate to increase now the margin for error. As they catch up, they can quickly sit on that med crate. If we need to fall back, it's already placed, we know where to go. People will see it, they know if shit hits the fan, someone dies. There's two options: push forward to the med station or regroup at that med crate. We're adding, it's just an additional layer of defense to what looked like a bad situation, but we pulled through. So yes, in hindsight, it's not the best med crate, but again, I'd rather not take a chance. This part's easy: grenades, power sword, being chilling. That one grenade that I was talking about with the with the red stim, I do still think in this situation giving it to the cycle would have been better. I'm just, you know, when you get to that part of the game, it's towards the end. I do know that me and Cheese are more or less carrying these guys to the run. Not to say that they're playing shit, they played well, but there is a skill discrepancy in like the pathing, the pacing. That specifically is what I'm talking about. And again, just leverage that stuff. Because I'm so focused into making sure I can leverage that skill as much as possible, my default autopilot play was grenade red stim myself. But in a game where I don't need to put so much focus into, you know, helping the team, 100% that stim would go, if I have 1 or 0 grenades, it goes on the Flamer Zealot, or it goes on the Inferno, it goes on the Psyker. The Psyker has the best consistent DPS, but it lacks the highs that Zealot and Veteran has. Zealot is geared to that single target damage, and then you've got Veteran, or Grenade Veteran, much like Psyker, is about AoE, but because they don't have the constant uptime of, you know, perils of the warp, they don't go to 0 grenades, for example. They don't have true downtime. They just need to quell and they're good. Because of that, including with the explosion damage on top of the bleed, which is again a big part that separates Soul Blaze and bleed damage, that's why Grenade Veteran reaches those extreme highs, because I'm combining that base damage of explosive with the ramped bleed damage that I can apply it so easily. I hope you learn a thing or two. Again, with the movesets of Power Sword, pretty simple. As you can see, a lot of damage. Most of my damage is grenades, blitz damage is explosive, conditional is bleed, ranged is bolt pistol, melee is power sword. There's a couple of other things to explain there. Look at the power DI. That's definitely more reliable, more accurate. If there's any questions that you have, just leave it in the comments. Assuming I don't get screwed over with the notification, because I have noticed it happens a couple of times, I promise I will get to your comments at some point. Love you all. God bless. Take care. Catch you in the next video. 07.